Hello there, people, and welcome to yet another edition of Daggerfall. It seems like we didn't really get that much content between what we've been doing. Because either that or I'm actually uploading it really, really fast. I think it's more the latter because I kind of just uploaded 2 parts today. So yeah, I'm going to be blasting through this content and uploading. One of the big things with the last week was that we also had a lot of Doom stuff going on with the stream. And because that didn't really exactly happen this week, it made it a lot shorter to upload everything. It really was actually pretty quick to get everything done. So yeah, it kind of comes down to the fact that I actually need more content. If I'm going to be really good after like tomorrow, I think by the end of tomorrow I should probably have everything up to today's done, if I'm correct. But beyond that, we also have a lot of other stuff to do. Let's get back into Daggerfall. And we shall read more books! Because that's what's fun, right? Reading books? Yes, reading is learning, and learning is half the battle! And yeah, so we're just going to be reading a bunch. So yeah, this is pretty much a lot of filler. But then again, I also want to kind of see stuff, so here it is. Here's stuff. You want to read it? Let's read it. This is a good day to read stuff. Okay, so I was at the end of the stream, apparently, with that pretty purple fountain. And what ended up happening was, I didn't know what was going on. So I stopped here. I said I was going to try and figure out who exactly is going to give me an awesome quest here. Random kid? No. Battle mage? Other battle mage? Neither! Hey, I can close the doors! We have business to attend to. Business is over! You look rather wimpy there, and then you got a beard here. Wait a minute, where'd your beard go? He shaves his beard when we talk to him! Look at that! He shaves his beard at the time it takes to talk to him. What I do remember is that we tried talking to this person. This really weird looking lady, like she's very, very weird looking. Those eyes are staring into my soul. Hello, Ricky! I am Elisana, King Edoware's child, and a parent to Wayrest. Perhaps you could help me out of a bit of embarrassment and predicament. The senior member of the Elder Council, my father's good friend Lord Castilian, has left court on holiday, and I forgot to return a cloak. I borrowed it from him. If it isn't too much of a bore to you, would you mind bringing it to him in Tundra? I could offer you a lovely amulet as payment. Okay, random gold, sure. How frightfully nice of you to help a silly girl like myself. Here's the robe. Now, it's very important that my Lord Castilian has the robe soon. It's at one of his houses, the Wick House residence in Tubro. Lord Castilian should be too hard to find. Just around for him or for the Wick House residents to give him the robe. I really do appreciate this, Ricky. It should take you longer than 8 days to get to Tundro and back, so see you then. Okay, so is it going to be this simple as go here, come back? I doubt it. I seriously doubt it's going to be this simple. Get prepared, we're going to have to murder stuff. But it's a way to go. This is what the newest quest is for. This is what we stocked up for. To go to Tundra. Wherever that is. Tundra. There we are. Look at that. It'll take us 1 day. What is the catch? Well, it's nighttime. That's a catch. That means we have to rest for the next day. In fact, let's see here. What time is it? It is... I don't see time here. Morning. So we only need a few hours. I just need to find the inn. That's probably the catch, right? No inns. Prepare for the longest journey ever across this pointless valley. Where is the inn? Let's do what we couldn't do in Daggerfall. Arena. And see what's east. Where to be west? I don't know where I'm going, people. West. West is the way I wish to go. Now that we know this, we can successfully go to an inn and get drunk or get lost. Either way, it's progress. Doors, benches, and other stuff, such as this general store. You want to buy stuff? I guess this is the place to do it, as it's like the only store in this entire city. There's really not much here, but it's a place to be for a night. Hi, I want a rum. For gold? Sure. Let's rest until fully healed, because why not? It'll take like a few hours. What time is it? I think it actually is too early. I didn't think it was that fast. 7:59. Is that too early? Probably not. Okay, let's get out of here. Let us get me out of this place. Arena music! Yay! I'm back in arena! I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Hi! Warehouse residence? Okay, you already mapped out for me. Thank you. Look at this amazingness. Look at this amazingness. Look at the beaver and scorpion, and now we are going to a house. Get ready, because we're about to do some wacky shenanigans. This is gonna end horribly for me. Like, I'm gonna bumble around aimlessly and do terrible stuff. Wait, what am I even supposed to be giving? What exactly am I doing again? I kind of forget that one. Ooh, a cloak! Okay, awesome little random cloak. Come on in! Hi! I guess you're the person? Are you a person? You're not the person I'm looking for. That's an attic. I think I remember this house. This is the house with the quest giver guy that didn't have it. This ain't good. This is where the invisible quest giver was. And we found it again. Well, hopefully, it's up the stairs. Hopefully. Up this ladder? Please be up the ladder. Yes, he was! All this time he's been up the ladder. We found a random dude who's up the ladder. A gift from Lady Elisana. Thank you, Ricky, the annoying champion. Oh yeah, we have to have everyone say annoying. Ain't it brilliant? It fits me like a glove. Oh my god, it's O.J. Simpson. You feel a tearing sound, as if the fabric of reality were being ripped open. Wait, what? Hooray! We have ripped the fabric of reality! Yay! Death to the traitor that assassinated Lord Castellan! Hi! Who's laughing at me? I don't know who's laughing at me, but I'm gonna kill you! I'm gonna kill all of you! I don't even know what I'm doing right now, but I shall wander around aimlessly and murder everything, because I'm insane like that. It's all like random junk that I don't need. And some money. See? This is worth killing people. Hi, other person! Where'd you come from? Come to kill me too? Well, that was pointless. I don't think you killed me. I don't think you actually did anything useful. Who are you? A Daedra Seducer! I don't like the sound of this! Leave this place, little Khajiit. We have come to claim Lord Castellan. You have done your part by delivering his funeral shroud which summoned us. Okay, I see a shark. I see a shark to the walls, people. I'm scared. There's a shark. There's a giant green shark that's trying to attack us. I probably should be running for my life, shouldn't I? There's a giant shark. But you know what? Oh yeah, this doesn't look messed up at all. We're doomed. What's that? I'm on a Kalai or an imp or something? What is that thing? Hi. Oh god, what's happened? What's happened? She's lost her clothing! She's lost her clothing! What's going on? What's going on? She's lost her clothing! Ricky! What's going on? This penciling and nudity! Why is there penciling and nudity? Oh god, what's going on? Help! There's penciling and nudity! I'm terrified! I don't know what's going on, but... Okay. That was different. Not every day you see all of a sudden the enemy lose their clothing. Okay. Daggerfall has got even more weird. Oh yeah, it's sexual grunting, that helps. Oh god, I fell, I'm dead, Whack the guard, There you go. Seriously, we're doomed. It's like all these weird summoner ladies and so many elven katanas that we have to pick up. Ah, ha, ha, ha. They have too much stuff on them. Die! Can I attack you? Just die alright. He fell down! Haha! So, Ricky is kinda doomed somehow. And you're just kinda standing here, like, hi. This giant naked lady's trying to murder me. All the normal. Where'd the guy go? The normal sane guy? Because all I'm seeing is naked flying ladies now. Like, sure. It's suddenly become more nudity in this game than there's a porno! Seriously, what is going on? Stop laughing at me! You can't judge me! I do awesome stuff normally! I'm just really confused what I'm doing right now. Also, what are you doing? You're just kind of standing there looking at me. What if I steal from you?
Hold!
The brace of friendship is broken! She stared at me and now I get guards everywhere trying to murder me! Never! Okie dokie, when in doubt. Elven Cuirass, can I equip that? I doubt I can, but I'm gonna try. I'm proud of myself. I accidentally removed those. I really want to see if I can equip this. Well, that was pointless. That was a completely pointless excursion. I don't think did anything. And now I can pick up all this stuff again. Ain't that amazing? Been picking up 2 seconds ago, but sure, pick it up now. Go ahead. High quality elven stuff I can't ever use. I like that. I like it when I can't use anything. Steel Daikatana, yes! I definitely want to demote myself intentionally. Ah! That was easy! And we got 640 gold pieces out of that deal. That was a good deal. Your naked corpse has lots of money on it. Thank you. Hi. There's lots of dead people everywhere. There were enemies nearby. I wish to rest in your house. That way I can cause more guards to appear. I want to massacre everything. This is the excuse to murder people. So, I guess I have to return. I demand my cloak. I demand my shiny ring. My shiny amulet. I also lost my personality ring. I'm undependable. Great. That's all we needed. Okay, let's go back to Wayrest. Because I did it! I'm owed a ring! A shiny, pretty ring! I demand it! I demand a shiny, pretty ring! I risk my life. I deserve a shiny, pretty ring. I probably shouldn't have tried recklessly. The living dead are out to kill me! Who are you? Where are you all coming from? Death to the traitor that assassinated Lord Castilian! Who are you? Who's Lord Castilian? What's going on? What's going on? Oh god, I am doomed. Stitched into the zombie's decaying flesh, you see the following message. Ricky the Anointed Champion! It'd be an honor to have you visit me in my demesne at your convenience. I have a small mentor that you are ideally suited for. As always, my servants will test your mettle. Feel free to dispense with them. They can always be raised again. The King of Worms. The Master of Skurgbarrow. Oh god. Well, that's interesting. Also, why is these guys acting like guards instead of trying to actually, you know, shoot me? Maybe I shouldn't question it because I'm gonna die otherwise. And I kinda need not to die right now. Kinda important. Spell sword died. Yeah, I shall halt eventually. Don't mind me, I shall just keep murdering people. I don't even know what he said. I wasn't even paying attention, and now I'm supposed to remember. Never! Halt! I'm not successful for stealing on these guards. Probably actually caused them to be more angry at me. I'm just like making them all angry at me right now. No. No. Bad. Halt. I know this. Okay, so he said stuff I don't really remember. We're doomed. Luckily, I can actually see what happened because I have a recording. All I know right now is, well, we've kind of caused a mess. Then we'll halt. So, yeah, I kind of just caused a massacre. For some reason. And it looks like there's more guys to kill me. Surprise! They came here to murder me. I was again letting them get the hit on me. You're gonna give me lots of money! All because of your confused AI. Thank you. At this rate, I'll have that Ebby Daikatana prepared in no time. Seriously, we have a lot to kill. It's like things just keep appearing. Hi there. I knew it! I knew you'd want to kill me. So that's why I was ready.
Hold! 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 Hold!
The hard part's going to be getting into this place because I can't exactly drop like I normally do. I don't exactly have the health for it. All because of these jerks outside the town gates. It made me want to murder everyone through the night. What's going on here? Like, they're just yelling out, but they're not attacking me. I fixed them! I think he's angry at me because I fixed them. Just remember, people, out. I definitely am owed some rest of realization after all this game. This was a lot of people to murder. Okay, so we just massacred an entire army that decided to come and murder me. Now we play the hard part, climbing this wall. Watch as I fall easily to my death. Come on, game. Okay, we did it. We're on the wall. Now, I can't exactly drop. I have no health. So what we gotta do is find a way down. It sounds easier said than done because I probably am going to have to fight people in these ways or something. All because of the fact of the matter that, well, I'm lost. Time to bash open this door. Let me in. Okay, we're in. Down we go. Anyone going to yell halt to try and murder me? Or can I actually get into a town in one piece? That'd be nice, game. Yay! We found our way into a town! Now, how many people can we get after me? Because I probably have a lot of people after me now. And I'm just undependable. Nothing really that bad. To the nearest tavern! We gotta get drunk! Okay, somehow I amazingly survived all that. I have no idea how I did that, but okay. How long do we have? It's 3:41. Yeah, so we need a few hours at least. Three, so that's gonna be 12 hours to be 3. Well, I'm kind of glad I rested for a bit then. Seems like there's enemies nearby. And by enemies, they probably mean more murderers, like this guy. Your victim had nothing worth stealing, just some scraps of snakeskin. Hi! I have assassins! Have decided to kill me. Guess what, though? You just gave me a nice wake-up. I needed more money. This is just how I wake up every day in the morning. It's a bunch of maniacs trying to kill me. It's the only way to wake up. I like it. Some people might not. Okie dokie, so we gotta get back to the palace, because we want our quest reward. Something tells me we're probably not getting it, but I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt that she actually is going to give me something still. Like a shiny little trinket. You know, for almost dying. Maybe she'll give me a shiny trinket. I'd like that. Let's sell stuff before we get there, though. Because I kind of need the inventory space for it. And that way, if we find more stuff to murder, we'll exactly have more money. Fine, fine, especially since I lost my personality thing. Much as that stunk. I knew that was going to happen eventually. It's a shame that it did when it did. Ooh, okay, I got another level somehow. I don't even know how that happened. But I shall boost up my agility. And look at my gold, almost 30,000. I'm pretty much ready to get an ebony daikatana if I find one. And yeah, I'm nearly at 90 for weaponry. So all in all, pretty amazing. I would never buy useless bracers. Like, seriously, why do these things exist sometimes? Okay, I'm hoping I can just kind of look through it quickly, then kind of go back to the town without too many distractions. I'd like to read these books eventually, but I kind of can't while I'm trying to not die. Okay, onward the show! And by the show, I mean getting to the palace. Yep, they'll definitely let a maniac in the palace. One that they're definitely trying to murder. This is a good idea! Just the latest in Ricky's good ideas. Where am I going? Okay. Oopsie, I didn't mean to steal from you! Hi! He doesn't want to talk to me now because I tried stealing from him! Oh god, hi there! Hi there! I didn't mean to steal from him! I'm innocent! I'm gonna protect my innocence by bashing you to death. That's totally innocent behavior. Hi! I'm innocent! I'm innocent, I tell you, I'm innocent! I'm totally innocent in all this. I was framed! You saw that, people! I was framed! They set me up! Arena! Now with massacres everywhere! Yeah, that's what this game is set to become. Dumbest wanted massacres, look at what we got. Out. Why me? Why me? Now I have to go back and sell all that stuff. Why me? I can't halt! I don't know how to halt! I see corpses everywhere though! Like, apparently I'm really a bad target. Something tells me that they're going to be appreciative of me in the palace. Like, after this whole incident here, I just want to get directions! I just want to get directions! And now look at me, I've kind of had to murder everybody. Northeast! Okie dokie! Yep, totally ready to go. Just need to go northeast! Ricky's day in Wayrest was not exactly the best of days. He wandered around aimlessly and murdered a bunch of stuff. And eventually he found a lot of people who tried to kill him. Ricky didn't have the best of luck. Oh look, another general store. We could use that. Since we picked up all this. That's a house. Okay, I need to sell all the stuff that I just picked up off these guys that I murdered. Apparently he only likes weapons, not armor. That's a shame. I don't like your discrimination, dude. The discrimination against armor is upsetting me. Lots of random junk. Nothing useful. Let's keep going! Northeast-ish! Onwards to victory! Halt! Wait, no. Can't help me! Okie dokie! You have it on my map. Where in God's name am I going? Oh, I just need to go northish. Out! That's another way of saying it. That's a very important way of saying it. I am going to the palace, even if it kills me! It probably will, because they're not gonna let me in, are they? I probably have to, like, murder everyone in here. Also, what was that letter about? I completely forget who sent it. Seriously, how am I supposed to remember these names? You can at least, like, have some way to, like, have it so I can write them down or something. But it's like I forget them immediately after I see the messages. So how on earth am I supposed to remember this stuff? Yeah. Hi! I'm just gonna go in and talk to your Lord and Savior. Hi. I want my ring. Oh, how marvelous you are! Here, let me give you the amulet I promised you. I hope Lord Castilian appreciates the extra work I put into the robe. It's a real attention getter now. Let me give you something more than the amulet, Ricky. My father is very interested in a certain ancient relic called the Totem of Tyrus Septum. He has spies all over the place looking for it. When they find it, my father will need someone to secure it. Obviously, whoever he chooses will be fabulously well rewarded. I'll give him your name. It's the least I can do. Okay, I like this. And I got a random amulet. Let's equip it and see what happens. Yes! I got the random amulet of randomness. Seriously, I don't think it did anything. I have a random amulet. I risked my life for a pointless amulet. Well, that's nothing new. Okay. Go me. Why did I do all this? What am I even doing? What am I even doing? I really don't even know. Words. I just want to make sure that there's nothing like I'm missing important. Okay, now I want to kind of just, I want to get out of here. I want to go basically back and read some books. As that was the goal of today, before we were kind of murdered by maniacs. We also have some important plotline stuff, but I kind of forget it all. Seriously, game, I would really appreciate if you actually told me half the stuff I actually have done. I really am lost. Okay, let's get a freaking horse. Nay, says the horse! Nay! I'm a bit insane. But you all know this. Well, let's write this for me. Okay, where are you going? Obviously this way. It's a way into the town that might have stuff. Particularly what I'm looking for, which would be a shop. I want a place to buy stuff at, or sell my random junk at. Mostly the latter. Okay, so I'm totally lost in this random world. That's good though, because I have found my way to an armor shop. See? And this is why getting lost is always important, because now we can sell all our random armor. I mean, we could have done this if I actually knew where I was going, but it's a lot cooler this way, where we kind of wanted to do it randomly. Sure, let's select everything and sell it. Because we're slowly inching our way to money. Could we, like, sell the amulet? Or no? No, it's just kind of going to be there. Well, that's a thing. Okay, so if you look at my inventory... If you... No, that's diamond paralysis and the random ring. That I don't even know what it does. I have a ring, I don't know what it does. That I haven't even identified the ring yet. Wow. I've been so busy blundering around, I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. Ooh, I need to find stuff. Specifically, we need to find, an alchemist to sell all these random concoctions. And a mage's guild would be useful. And maybe a tavern, yeah. A tavern. Just because we need a rest. I mean, look at my health. It's pretty terrible. And so, resting would be good. Sure, I'll spend 3 gold pieces and waste it across this entire world. Let's heal. And by heal, I mean wait for some assassins. That will obviously be coming. Okay, now for a stupid question. What time is it? 23:29. Terrible time. Let us rest for about, oh, say, 10 hours? That'd be good. At least there's no more assassins trying to murder me. And now we have fog everywhere! I think this is a bad idea already. And oh my god, the people! There are people everywhere! Where am I going? I don't know what I'm doing. It's too foggy to see what I'm doing. Let's just wander around aimlessly in the fog. Because nothing ever happens bad to people who wanders around aimlessly in the fog. Nothing at all. Oh yes, this is totally a brilliant idea. I'm lost in the middle of a freaking town. And I can't see in front of my face. It's arena all over again. I can't see in my front of my face again. Okie dokie, so where am I going? You know, that would be a very important thing to know. Where exactly am I going in all this? You know, I think this is why I like going back to Daggerfall, and then I kind of tried going back to Daggerfall only to get deterred. Let's go to Daggerfall. I really want to go back there. It's easier on me. So I'm going to go back there, and we're going to try and do stuff. Specifically, we're supposed to try and talk to Abaki or whatever. A young street urchin presses a Lairdy hand. As you attempt to question him, it becomes obvious that he is both deaf and mute. With a wave of frustration, you send him on the way. Well then. What's this letter say? I really hate letters. There's too many letters in this game. I'm getting a lot of them. This the letter I got? I'm not even sure. They just randomly throw in my inventory. Ricky the Anointed Champion! The Dark Brotherhood has been watching you! You have slain without sanction several times! You must now join us, or be counted as our foe. Travel to Aldingwork Wood in Daggerfall to see Alistair Wooding, who'll give you further instructions. A brother. Yay, we can become assassins or whatever, I don't even know. The Dark Brotherhood. Sounds like a place Ricky would hang out, right? Apparently they've heard of his ability to blend around aimlessly and murder everything in his vicinity. They like that. See? Somebody can appreciate Ricky and his unique habit of being able to murder everything they sees. Not everyone gets mad at him being a crazy person. Oh, he most save people. What did I just sell? I don't even know what I just sold. I bought something. I don't even know what I bought. I don't even know what I bought. I don't know what's going on. People, I'm concerned. I don't know what's going on. Help me. Okay, so we got some books we gotta read. Reading time! Because there's no better time for reading than right now. While people are demanding we kind of go visit them. Wayrest, Jewel of the Bay! Well, that sounds pretty appropriate since we just were there. Sure, let's read it. Since, after all, we were at Wayrest, so it's not like we don't know what Wayrest was. I just lost my hat. There's my doofy looking hat. Wayrest, Jewel of the Bay. Only 4 pages. Wayrest is one of the most glorious cities of Western Tamriel, filled with mostly a lot of guards that will yell at you for murdering someone and you'll end up having to murder everybody. Sparkling in her contemporary beauty, lustrous by her past, she is prized above all cities in High Rock. No other city has contributed, and continues to contribute, so much to the culture of the Britons. Except for, maybe Daggerfall. The spirits of her genius, children, continue to haunt the streets. You can see them in the garbled roofs, grand boulevards, aromatic marketplaces. The people of Wayrest have an instinctive appreciation of their past, but are not obsessed by it, as the people of Daggerfall seem to be. One feels that one is in a modern city when one visits Wayrest, but there is a magic in the air that could only come from 22 centuries of civilization. It is difficult for historians to declare a certain date for the foundation of Wayrest. A settlement of some variety has been in existence where the Bajolste River feeds the Iliac Bay, possibly since the 800th year of the First Era. That is old, apparently. The traders and fishermen of Wayrest were surrounded by hostile parties. The Orc capital, Orsinium, had grown like a poison weed to the north, and the Kavari pirates and raiders crowded the islands to the west. There was no mystery to Wayrest's name. After the fighting, most travelers had to endure passing through the eastern end of the Iliac Bay. The little fishing village on the Bajolse was a welcome rest. Nowhere in the much vaunted censuses of the Skyrim occupation is Wayrest mentioned, and the annuals at Daggerfall, King Jolie's letter to Gaiden Shinji of the Order of Diagna, contains the following reference. The orcs have been plaguing the Wayresters and impeding traffic to the heart of the land. The date given for the letter is First Era of 948. Wayrest only truly bloomed after the raising of Orsinium in the First Era, 980. The hard-working traders and merchants were instrumental in forming the Macedonian tradeway, and thus reducing the pirate activity on the bay. At this time, Wayrest occupied both banks of the Bajolse. A successful mercantile family, the Gardeners, built a walled palace on the High Rock side of the river, and, over time, allowed banks and other businesses within its walls. It was a Gardener, Ferrangano, who was proclaimed king when Wayrest accepted ambassadors from the Kemurian Empire, and was granted the right to call itself a kingdom in the 1100th year of the First Era. Although Wayrest became a kingdom under the command of one family, the merchants continued to wield incredible power. Many economicists have alleged that Wayrest's eternal wealth, despite all her hardships, comes from this rare relationship between the merchants and the crown. The Gardner dynasty fell, followed by the Cumberland dynasty, which was followed by the Holy dynasty, and finally, in the Third Era, the Septim dynasty. No citizen of another kingdom of comparable age can, with one hand, name all the families who have ever ruled. Never has a king of Wayrest been deposed by revolution or assassination. Except for those of the Septim family, every king of Wayrest can trace his line back to a merchant prince of Wayrest. The merchants and king both respect one another, and this relationship strengthens both. One only need walk down the Great Boulevard of Wayrest to see the physical proof of this unique alliance. Going north to south, Wayrest Boulevard suddenly divides, one half going west and the other going east. Both halves end in identical squares, one at Castle Wayrest, the other at the Palace of Afrank Gardner, and the other at Cumberland Square, where the oldest and wealthiest marketplace in Wayrest. The message here is clear. The king and the merchants are joined and equal. Wayrest has survived blights, droughts, plagues, Piracy, invasions, and war with good humor and practicality. In the first era of 2702, an entire population of the city was forced to move into the walled estate of the gardeners as protection against the pirates, Akavari raiders, and Thresh and Plague. A less resourceful community would have withered, but the Wayresters have survived to enrich Tamriel generation after generation. Okay, so that was just basically a book that said, Wayrest is a great place to be. Seriously, that was the entire book. That was the entire point of it. Totally worth the read. I don't feel like I just wasted my time. We've also read Mara's Tear. That was the book that we read with that Grandma's Story thing. And then the first one we did, Eos, Animal God, I believe it was. So yeah, we've done quite a few. We have like a handful at least. I don't think we've done either of these. I don't believe so. I'm gonna save just in case it turns out it's actually the same book. I don't believe we've done the Brothers of Darkness. I think it was the Light and the Darkness. Sure, so let's read the Light and the Darkness. Why? Because it's another book and we gotta use it. Okay, another 4-page book. Let's get through these so we can say they're done. As the name suggests, the Dark Brotherhood, also another convenient thing to read about, since after all, we're going to be invited to the Dark Brotherhood. It'd be good to actually know what exactly they are. So, I think it's very convenient that we learn about them right now. See? This is all related to what we're doing somehow. I don't know how we did this, but we did awesome. As the name suggests, the Dark Brotherhood has a history shrouded in obfuscation. Their ways are secret to those who are not Brothers of the Order. Brothers is a generic term. Some of the deadliest of the assassins are female, but they are called brothers as well. How they continue to exist in shadow, but can be easily found by those desperate enough to pay for their services, is not the least of their mysteries. The Dark Brotherhood sprang from the religious order, the Morag Tong, during the Second Era. The Morag Tong were worshippers of the Daedra spirit Mafala, who encouraged them to commit ritual murders. Oh, this sounds like a fun people to be around. In their early years, they were as disorganized as cultists usually are. There was no one to lead the group, and as a group they dared not murder anyone of any importance. This changed with the rise of the Night Mother. All leaders of the Morag Tong, and then the Dark Brotherhood, have been called the Night Mother. Whether the same woman has commanded the Dark Brotherhood since the Second Era is unknown. What is believed is that the original Night Mother developed the important belief of the Morag Tong. This first belief is that, while Mafala grows stronger with every murder committed in her name, certain murders were better than others. Oh boy, we gotta kill important people. Murders that came from hate. Please, Mafala, more than murders committed because of greed. Murders of great men and women. Please, Mafala, more than the murders of unknown. We can approximate the time this belief was adopted with the first known murder committed by the Morag Tong. In the year of 324 of the Second Era, the Pontigate Versailles was murdered in his palace, was today the Elsewhere Kingdom of Senchal. In a brash move, the Night Mother announced the identity of the murderers by painting Morag Tong on the walls in the Pontigate's blood. Previous to that time, the Morag Tong existed in relative peace, like a witch's coven. Occasionally persecuted, but usually ignored. In a remarkable synocracy at a time when the arena was a fractured land, the Morag Tong was outlawed throughout the continent. Every sovereign gave the cult's elimination his highest priority. Oh, this sounds like a great person to be part of. Nothing more was officially heard of them for 100 years. It's more difficult to date the era when the Morag Tong re-emerged as the Dark Brotherhood. Assassin guilds have sporadically appeared throughout the history of Tamriel. The first mention of the Dark Brotherhood that I have found is the Journal of Queen Elahamitra of Hagath. She spoke of slaying her enemies by her own hand, or, if necessary, with the help of the Night Mother and her Dark Brotherhood, the secret arsenal my family has employed since my grandfather's time. Elahamitra wrote this in 2 Era 412, so I can surmise that the Dark Brotherhood had been in existence since at least 360, if her grandfather truly used them. The important distinction between the Dark Brotherhood and the Morag Tong was that the Brotherhood was now a business as much as a cult. Rulers and wealthy merchants now used the Order as an assassin's guild. The Brotherhood gained the obvious benefits of a profitable enterprise, as well as the secondary benefit that no longer could rulers actively persecute them. They were needed. Even an extremely virtuous leader. Not long after Almahera's journal entry about them was penned, came perhaps the most important series of executions in the history of the Dark Brotherhood. The Colombian Emperor Pontinate Savarin Chork and everyone of his heirs was murdered on a bloody night in Sun's Dawn in 430. Within a fortnight, the Colombian dynasty crumbled to the delight of its enemies. For over 4,000 years, until the age of Tiber Septim, chaos reigned over Tamriel. Though no comparably impressive executions have been recorded, the Brotherhood must have grown fat with the gold during that age. The Dark Brotherhood has no shortage of business opportunities. And accounting, I have been informed, is the Brotherhood's favorite euphemism for an execution. While they are officially an unlawful organization, in every corner of the Empire, like the Thieves Guild, they are almost universally tolerated. But we aren't the Thieves Guild. We are absolutely maniacal murderers. Yep. This is what I do. I go around murdering people. And they've decided that I'd be useful as an ally. Or that they'd kill me. Okie dokie. Let's see here, what else is in these bookshelves? While we read all these random books. A History of Daggerfall! That's exactly what we needed. So yeah, let's read that. Important History of Daggerfall. Because when you go to read all these books, why not have a freaking History of Daggerfall? So much boring stories! There is sufficient archaeological evidence for the modern historian to believe that there had been some variety of human settlement in the city-state of Daggerfall starting at least 1,000 years before recorded history. The first use of the name Daggerfall to refer to the area around the current capital was most probably in the 246th year of the First Era. The north half of the Iliac Bay, in fact all the current province of High Rock, was conquered by invading Nords, who brought a rough sort of civilization with them. One of the first civilized acts the Nords performed was a census, the so-called Book of Life. Listed on page 933 of the book is this entry. North of the highest bluffs, south of the moors, west of the hills, and east of the sea is called Daggerfall. 110 men, 93 women, 13 children under 8 years of age, 56 cows, 7 bulls, 63 chickens, 11 cocks, and 38 hogs live here. Yeah, we have a census taken. Yeah, that's what we needed right now. Nearly 4,000 years after the census was taken, we can see that these 216 people have multiplied heartily. The last census, in the year 3rd Era 401, lists a population over 110,000. I think we've actually learned why this has happened. Incest, people! That's what we're in play here. Because, yeah, you've seen what they look like. You see the monstrous entities they are, you cannot tell me that is normal! It's always difficult to find the exact number, but the capital city of Daggerfall certainly outnumbers her rivals, Sentinel and Wayrest. Okay, yep, we both know those two towns. It has been a consistent, if not actually helpful amusement historians to find the origin of place names. Daggerfall, by tradition, is said to refer to the knife the first chieftain threw to form the borders of his lands. But there are other legends that may have equal validity. The Daggerfall entry from the Book of Life actually supports one theory about the reason for Daggerfall's longevity. The people were coastal fishermen, but they also found the land itself sufficiently rich to support raising livestock. This inclination of the early citizenry toward reinforcing their principal products brought stability to a fickle land. Daggerfall thrived during the years of the Skyrim occupation. When the Wild Hunt killed King Borgus of Winterhold in the First Era 369, the Northlands engaged in the War of Succession, and Skyrim, greatly weakened, lost their holdings in High Rock and Morrowind. The Iliad Bay had become important strategically, and Daggerfall began to expand her military. There are multiple opportunities for her to exercise this army and navy during the Durrani conflicts with the force of the Elysian Reform. The Durranis were native Bretons, and Britons are hardly ever given to excessive religion. Daggerfall became a minor base of operations for the Durranis and their allies. Raven Durrani, the Enchantress... Wait, they're hardly ever given to excessive religion. We see a lot of temples! Raven Durrani, the Enchantress whose magic helped secure the final victory over the Elysians of the Gnumbria Moors, was one of the earliest occupants of Castle Daggerfall. Over the centuries that followed, the Durranis fell into obscurity, but Daggerfall continued her growth. In the First Era 609, King Thegogor of Daggerfall defeated the army of Glenpoint, and became the preeminent economic, cultural, and military force in Southern High Rock, a position the kingdom has precariously kept ever since. Oh god, let me check and see how the video's doing, because I'm one out, man. Okay, we gotta do this, people, we gotta do this. This is endurance. Ironically, it was another successful military exercise 370 years later that ended Daggerfall's monopoly of bay trade. The annihilation of the Orcish capital, Orcinium, by a joint effort of Daggerfall, the new kingdom of Sentinel, and the now extinct Order of Diagna. The scattering of the orcs from southeastern High Rock made the river route to the bay more accessible. The tiny village of Wayrest grew like a flower that no longer feared the mow. In 20 years, Wayrest trade profits equals Daggerfall. In 4 years, Wayrest was the acknowledged master of the Iliac Bay trade. In 120 years, Wayrest became the Kingdom of Wayrest. The Kingdom of Sentinel did not exhibit Wayrest's arrangement during the First Era. The Red Guards were warriors, learning the ways of the merchants, and their land was enemy enough to keep their population checked. Indeed, the enemy of people in all the areas of the Iliac Bay was halved once of the First Era by the Thracian Plague, once again by the War of Righteousness, and a third time by the invasion of Oliveri. If Daggerfall had not spent its first 1,000 years preparing for the battles of the next 1,000 years, it is indeed conceivable that the Iliac Bay might be a Calvarian. The Second Era, like the latter part of the First Era, is a tapestry of wars, insurrections, and plagues. Daggerfall, Sentinel, and Wayrest continue to expand and improve their military and economic positions in the Bay. Daggerfall and Wayrest were transposed positions as major trading center of the Bay, and Daggerfall and Sentinel likewise bandied over which was the superior military power. The Iliac Bay has continued to hold the important position in the imperial government of the Third Era. Rarely armies, though the combined army is in opposition to the Comoran usurper in the 3rd century of the 3rd era is a notable exception, but not always enemies. Daggerfall, Sentinel, and Wayrest have weathered the storms of contention, plague, famine, and pestilence. The recent war at Brittany was typical of violent warfare, sincere, frighteningly violent, and peaceably resolved. Okay, so we basically read a lot of history stuff that I really hated. Like, I'm bored out of my mind. We kind of lost a little tiny bit of gold, I believe. I'm really not sure. But yeah, I'm bored. I'm really bored. Can't read any books there for the time being. There's no more randomly generated books. How about this one? There's the real Marines of Part 3. King Edward Part the 12th? I hope that's like... I'm really hoping this is supposed to be like... a name. Please be a name. Please be a name. I don't want it like... in the continuation, if we see anything like that, we're doomed. You tell me, does that make... Yeah, it's pretty much a massive freaking play, ain't it? Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This sounds like fun. There's over 12 parts of King Edward. Actually, I'm actually curious. I need to know now, is there actually 12 parts of King Edward? Edward. Daggerfall. Let me see if like I can see when like... Yeah, there's books. There's books. There's a lot of books. God. There's gotta be 12 parts of King Oh my god. Who in their right mind decided this was a good idea? Why? Why? Why, Daggerfall? Why are you doing this to me? Because it hates me. Then we have the Real Barenza, Part 3, which is another one that's like, yeah. Where's Part 1 and 2? I really hate these parter ones. Just give me one book to read. The Ebon Arm. Oh, Fool's Ebony Part the 1th. That might be useful. That's Part 1 of this story. We're buying that one. And the Ebon Arm? Sure. Okay, so the Ebon Arm. Let's see this thing. The ground shakes. The great armies continue to wage their unrelenting battle. The battlefield is red. The rivers flow crimson. The sky reflects a deep pink. In the distance, lightning flashes and thunder sounds. Two huge ravens begin circling the field. Their blackness is vibrant against the various shades of red in its vista of death and suffering. The bright flashes of light and rumbling begin to increase. The redness surrounding the battlefield begins giving way to a golden glow from the east, almost like a summer setting sun. From the false sunset, a massive golden stallion and single rider approach. All becomes suddenly still on the field of battle as both sides recognize Raymond Ebonarm, god of war, and the companion and protector of all warriors, also known as the Black Knight and his mighty steed Warmaster. Okie dokie. He rides into the middle of the blood-soaked field and dismounts. He's a very imposing figure. His very tall and heavily muscled body is encased in ebony armor. His ebony helmet does not hide the flowing red blonde hair and beard which appear almost as shimmering gold, nor does it shield the steel blue eyes that seem to pierce all they fall upon. In his left hand he carries a massive ebony tower shield, on which is emblazoned a fiery red rose. As he raises his right arm, I'll see an arm and a magnificent ebony blade, which are extensions of each other. The fused arm and sword are a result and symbol of the wounds suffered by this god during titanic battles and the youth of this world. The ravens come to rest on his shoulders, and as the point of the ebony blade seemingly touches the sky, lightning flashes, thunder roars, then total quiet descends, and a shudder rolls through both armies. The leaders of both armies approach Raymond Ebenarm and kneel. In turn, they tell their reasons for this war. Each asks for their favor of the Black Knight for their cause. Raymond Ebenarm listens, but there is no acknowledgement that he has chosen to favor one side or the other in this fight. However, each of the leaders has heard the other state his position, and each now knows that the war is baseless. They embrace and turn to their armies. They instruct their forces to bury their dead, tend their wounded, and return to their homes. Well, that was pointless. Raymond Ebenarm mounts his great golden scallion, War Master, and again raises his ebony blade skyward, and sends a huge rose emblazoned ebony shield to both armies. A massive chorus of cheers rises from the armies. The ravens again take to the air. Lightning and thunder follow him as he rides into the sunset, followed by the two birds. The armies do as they have been bidden. They care for their wounded and bury their dead. As they retreat towards their homes, each warrior is sure that the great god Raymond Ebenarm, the Black Knight, has responded to their individual prayers for intervention. Each side has won, neither has lost. As the armies depart from the field, the rivers begin to run clear, and a single red rose begins to bloom near the grave of a fallen hero. Oh, that was boring. We can have peace! Peace! This is a story of amazing peace. That's about it. That was very, very boring. Like, mind-numbingly so. Okay, so, we haven't really done much of anything. Now what? Well, we got Fool's Ebony Part the 1th. Now we just need 2th and 3th and 4th. I hate this. I'm gonna have to run around to all these different places and buy stuff. Sadly, I can't just, like, steal from him and hope for the best. That would probably end with me dying. King Edward Part the 4th. And lots of books that we've already read. Hooray, we can actually say we read books and can actually ignore stuff now. See? This is why we did it! Because now we can start moving a bit quicker. We just need to get to a bookstore and then torture ourselves for hours on end. Seriously though, there's only like a certain number of books in this game. All the books in this game are like limited to a certain number or so. So we might as well read them, right? Oh god, this is probably a terrible idea, but I'm trying to read some of them. Depending on how many we find, I might even end up reading all of them, who knows? It's just what I kind of blunder across in my travels. Yeah, I'm trying to collect Fool's Ebony right now so we can read the whole horrible play. Because why read one terrible play when we can read the entire thing? Luckily, we don't have time limits on things at the moment, so we can instead focus on the goal of doing stuff. Particularly, going to another general store. That was obviously what I was planning on doing. Why? Because each of them has 3 books. I saw some weird peddler on the ground just sitting there. You know, why am I not wearing a shirt? It's actually pretty important. Why am I not wearing a shirt? I'm missing my awesome ebony thingy. I don't even know what I'm talking about. It's not ebony. I just have ebony flowing through my head by this point, people. Galarian the Mystic, Grey Falcon, Rude Song. Oh god, more books. Why me? So many books. But at least every one of these we read is one less we don't have to worry about, right? Start with Galarian the Mystic. But that I mean Torch. Yes, we can set fire to the books and we don't have to read any of them. Well, that's an expensive book. This better be a good story. It's an expensive book. How long is it? Only 3 pages. During the early bloody years of the Second Era, Vanus Galarian was born under the name Tractus, a serf on the estate of a minor nobleman. Lord Ganesh of Solish Unkur, Tractus' father and mother, were common laborers, but his father had secretly, against the law of Lord Ganesh, taught himself and then Tractus to read. Lord Ganesh had advised their illiterate serfs were an abomination of nature and dangerous to themselves and their lords, and closed all bookstalls within Solish Unkur. All booksellers, poets, and teachers were forbidden, except within Gyrinus' keep. Nevertheless, a small scarf of scrolls in circulation right under Gyrinus' shadow. Yeah, it feels really abrupt, I'm kind of having like it be cut off with the text. It really kind of makes it that way. I can't even read it normally. But yeah. Basically something about pointless surf. Like, yeah, be appreciative that you can read. When Tractus was 8, the smugglers were found and imprisoned. Some said that Tractus' mother, an ignorant and religious woman, fearful of her husband, was the betrayer of the smugglers. But there were other rumors as well. The trial of the smugglers was non-existent, and the punishment swift. The body of Tractus' father was kept hanging for weeks during the hottest summer Solish Unkur had seen in centuries. This story is boring. 3 months later, Tractus ran away from Lord Wayrest's estate. He made it as far as Eleanor, halfway across the Somerset Isle. A band of troubadours found him nearly dead, curled up in a ditch by the side of the road, nursed him to health, and employed him as an errand boy in return for food and shelter. One of the troubadours, a soothsayer named Heliand, began testing Tractus' mind and found the boy, though shy, to be preternaturally intelligent and sophisticated given the circumstances. Heliand recognized the boy a calamity, for Heliand had been trained on the Isle of Arcanum as a mystic. When the trope was performing in the village of Portsana on the far eastern end of Somerset, Heliand took Tractus, then a boy of 11, to the Isle of Arcanum. The magister of the isle, Aestus, recognized potential in Tractus and took him on as a pupil. There's too many of these mage pupil stories. Seriously, why does it feel there's like so many of these? Give him the name Vanus Galarian. Vanus trained his mind on the Isle of Arcanum as well as his body. Thus was the first Magister of the Mages Guild trained. From the Sagics of the Isle of Arcanum, he received this training. From his childhood of wanton injustice, he received his philosophy of sharing knowledge. More random books. Let's sell this one. One more that I'm not going to worry about in the future, at least. We see Galarian the Mystic, we know not to buy it. Or pick it, you know, if we pick it up, we can just sell it without having to read it. See? We're doing this all for long term. That way we don't have to really read that many books going forward. The Epic of the Grey Falcon. Sure. Yeah, let's get totally ripped off again. Why me? Okay. As uncovered and translated by Agnedo Joan, royal archaeologist from an ancient tome. This tale comes from sometime in the Second Era, most probably after the time of the Nobotan flu, or at least I have so surmised due to reasons in the text. Whether or not the tale is true, it remains an interesting story of survival. The reader will, I trust, Forgive me if I translated the epic somewhat informally. The message, I think, is universal and should not be missed. Enjoy, gentle reader. AJJ, whoever that is. The Epic of the Grey Falcon. What in God's name are we going for? Lots of words, that's what we're going for. Did I say I hate reading? The Grey Falcon, a small warship of the Somerset Isle, was patrolling deep in the ocean for a pirate that had been looting the coast. The first 3 weeks were uneventful. 2 hours after sunset, on the 22nd day out of port, the lookout spotted a top of a sail in the moonlight, just on the horizon. "Sail! To starboard, forward quarter!" the lookout at the Grey Falcon cried. The crew and captain of the Grey Falcon were quickly roused, and stumbled to the deck. "'Tis the ship we're looking for, Captain," said the lookout. "All hands to battle stations! All archers to their posts!" The captain yelled, "Full ahead!" The 2 ships closed, and a dark figure stepped out onto the forecastle of the pirate ship. The figure made a gesture with his hands, and a giant ball of fire straight towards the Grey Falcon. The ball of fire struck the Grey Falcon and her sails, quickly catching them aflame. What's it with these sentences? They're like broken. The figure made another gesture. Large bolts of ice streaked out from his hands, and hit the Grey Falcon just above and below the waterline, gouging large holes in their hull. The Grey Falcon was mortally wounded. The captain cried, "All hands abandon ship," as he was cut off by the pirate's arrow shot into his throat. As the Grey Falcon, aflame and listing badly, plunged into the sea, one of her sailors, Daedra Seducers, managed to avoid the pirate arrows and spells to make his way to a lifeboat and lowered it into the darkness below. Just as the lifeboat entered the water, a quick grey shape jumped into it. Derek looked and saw that it was Haynor Snarsblame, a Khajiit mercenary assigned to the ship. The 2 rowed the small boat away. As the Grey Falcon finished her descent into the sea, in the darkness, the pirate ship missed their small craft, and the 2 rowed well out of the pirates' possible view. They both collapsed from exhaustion. Early morning the next day, they took an inventory of the lifeboat's stores. Normally the lifeboat carries enough food and water to supply 7 people for at least 10 days. In place of the food, though, Haynor found a note. The food of this lifeboat was found to be in violation of Somerset Navy regulation during inspection. In accordance to that article, the food was taken away and destroyed. A replacement may be obtained by redeeming this letter at Port Supply Office. Signed, Lieutenant Inspector Windhollow. Haynor read aloud. Said Derek to his Khajiit companion, "We have plenty of water, but we are out of food. I don't know what we're going to do. I suppose we could try fishing, but we have no bait. There's no chance we can make it back to land before we starve to death. It'll be over a month in this craft." "Wait, I have an idea," said Haynor, with a gleam in his cat-like eye. 6 weeks later, the lifeboat entered the port of Wayrest. As it was tethered to the dock, a solitary figure was pulled out, looking weather-beaten and thin. One of the dock workers peered into the life raft. After the figure was taken away to the port area for treatment, "What's this?" a worker said to himself. As he picked up the large bone from the boat, a bone bleached white from the sun. After the sole survivor of the Grey Falcon recovered from his ordeal, it was taken to the inquest for the death of Daedra Seducers, and placed on a chair before the magistrate. "We here in High Rock have a dim view of cannibalism. You better have a good reason for your actions." The Inquisitor boomed at Haynor Snarsblame. By the lady, do you?" Haynor stood and said, "Your Honor, I had no choice. There was no food, and there was at least 2 months to the closest port. We both decided this was the only way someone would make it." "Well then, I suppose this was understandable, if somewhat distasteful, the Inquisitor said. You think it was distasteful? Elnor muttered to himself. I didn't have any seasoning. One final thing, Mr. Snellsplane. How was it decided that you would be the one that would dine on the other? The toss of the coin? Elnor drew himself up and said, Your Honor, it was very simple. Derek Seasfit was a vegetarian. Case dismissed! Okay then, so we've learned something today, people. Don't be a vegetarian or you'll be cannibalized by a cat dude. What does this teach you? I don't know. But there's cat dudes in this world and they wish to eat your flesh. Don't let them. Eat meat. Eat rich, raw, red meat. Let the juices run through your mouth. Yeah. Is this the one I looked at before? I'm not even sure. The Wild Elves. They're more than normal elves, they're Wild Elves. They're like the bikers of so are the elves. And the wilds of most every province of Tamriel descended philosophically, if not directly, from the original inhabitants of the land, are the Aelids, commonly called the Wild Elves. While three races of elven stock, Talange or High, Boish or Wood, and Moish of Dark, have assimilated well to the new cultures of Tamriel, the Aelids and their brethren have remained aloof of our civilization, preferring to practice the old ways, far from the eyes of the world. The Wild Elves speak a variation of Old Cyrodic, and not Tamrielic, separating themselves further even than their more urbanized elven cousins. In temperament, they are dark-spirited and taciturn, though they doubtless act differently with outsiders, or Polani in their tongue, than within their own tribe. Indeed, one of the finest stages of the University at Gwillem was the civilized Aelid elf, Tjerne Fear, in the First Era 2790 to Second Era 227, whose published work on wild elves suggests a lively, vibrant culture. Fear is one of the very few Aelids to speak freely on his people and religion, and even he said, the nature of the tribes of Aelid are multi-hued. Their personality is often wildly different from their neighbor tribes. BRT, Nature of Aelidic Poesy, page 8, the University of Gwillem Press, 2nd Era 12. Like any alien culture, wild elves are often feared by the simple people of Tamriel. The Aelids continue to be one of the greatest enigmas of the continent of Tamriel. They seldom appear in the pages of written history in any role, and then only as a strange sight a chronicler stumbles upon before they vanish into the wood. When probable fiction is filtered from common legend, we are left with almost nothing. The mysterious ways of the Aelids have remained shrouded since before the First Era, and may well remain so for thousands of years to come. So yeah, even more reading, educational lessons on books, and stuff like that. I'm slowly but surely losing money because I'm getting all these books. But it's for the investment later, when we don't have to worry about all this. Oh look! Queen Breenza Volume 1, okay. We have like 2 copies of The Fall of the Usurper. Why does that make me think of like Jagatharn? This is probably going to be like Jagatharnish. I get the feeling. Let's see here. The Fall of the Usurper. The people of Dwinnen celebrate Arcantide every 5th of Sun's Dawn, the date when, according to legend, a man emerged from the wilderness of High Rock and defeated the undead of Castle Whitemoor to become the first Baron of Dwinnen. Okay, so much for that. Just something totally random. Few people believe the legend anymore, but there most certainly was a Baron Othrock of Dwynnon who was destined to become one of the true heroes of High Rock, if not all Tamriel. The legend, as any Dwynnon child would tell you, is that years and years ago, archivists have agreed to the year 3rd Era 253, the people of Dwynnon were ruled by a leech, as armies of zombies, ghosts, vampires, and skeletons. Othrock was blessed by the gods and given an army of men and animals to destroy the dead. He brought peace and prosperity to the land, growing more powerful as the land improved. Years later, he led the tiny barony against the Camoran usurper and saved all of Tamriel. How much credit the Baron ought to receive for the defeat of the Camoran usurper has been debated, but it's an uncontestable fact that in the year 3rd Era 267, the Camoran usurper's relentless move north through High Rock was halted around the area of contemporary Dwynnon. Dwynnon is actually larger than it was in the first Baron's day. It did not, in fact, have a seaport, but the Battle of Fire Waves was a coastal battle. The fact that the battle probably did not occur in Dwynnon does not itself belittle the Baron's participation in it. The Camoran usurper had conquered Hammerfell and Valenwood by means of a large army, which by legend consisted entirely of undead and Daedra, but was mostly composed of red guards and wood elves. In all probability, the usurper summoned the Daedra and undead and Arethia, and solely replaced the original summoned creatures with the armies of his conquered territories. Most armies of Valenwood have been historically mercenary. Word of the usurper's conquest reached High Rock in early 266, but preparations to repel the invasion did not begin until early the following year. Historians attribute two major factors to High Rock's hesitancy. The primary powers of the Bay were ruled by particularly inept monarchs. Wayrest and Sentinel both had kings in their minority, and Daggerfall was torn between contention between Helena and her cousin Joaith. Oh, fun. The Lord of Gradkeep, now Anticlair, was deathly ill through 266, and finally died at the end of the year. There were, in short, no leaders to unite the province against the usurper. Of the leaders with any influence, at least 8, the 8 traitors of legend, made secret alliances with the usurper to protect their lands. The secondary reason for the lethargy of High Rock had to do with the depth of relations between the province and the Septim Empire. For the first time since the beginning of the dynasty, an emperor ruled Tamriel who was neither Breton nor had spent any of his childhood in High Rock. The difference between Sepphoris II and his cousin Uriel IV, who preceded him, was appalling to the people of High Rock. Even mad emperors like Pelagius III revered the Bretons over all other races, and cousins and younger siblings of the emperors have ruled in High Rock since the foundation of the empire. Sepphoris was a Nord, with Skyrim and Morrowind sympathies. The attitude of the common men of High Rock was sympathetic toward the Camoran usurper as an archfoe of this hated emperor. The Baron and his less legendary allies, the rulers of Yakaran, Fagoria, and Cambria, changed this favorable perception. News of the usurper's barbaric treatment of captives and abuse of conquered lands, mostly true, spread rapidly through their territories, and none to other neutral lands. Within a few months, the greatest navy ever combined was organized along the High Rock edge of the Iliac Bay. Only the navy of Uriel V's ill-fated invasion of Alakavir was comparable. How the combined forces of High Rock defeated the endless army of the Camoan usurper is certainly worthy of a lengthy book in itself, and perhaps is best left to the public imagination. Certainly the weather worked against the usurper, which is reason in itself to attribute divine intervention. Baron Othrock's divine purpose is the central theme to Otherotide, after all. As the poet Baroque wrote, to find the facts, the wisest always look first to the fiction. Okay, whatever that means. Yeah, I kind of am phasing out with all these. Really, we're reading too many of these one night. I'm kind of worn out. I think I'm gonna stop here, people. That was a lot of books. That was just a marathon of booking. And yeah, not exactly the most entertaining thing in my book. But at least it's another day's worth of recordings. It's going to be all just one extra part to add or so, whereby we get a bunch of extra book features or so. So if you want a bunch of extra reading and weird naked ladies, well, this is the part for you. Yeah, what a combination. Reading and naked ladies. The nerd's fantasy. Yeah. So, yeah. Reading wise, we had a lot of random books. I mean, I don't even know what half of them were about. We learned about cannibalism and about stuff. Yeah. And somehow I'm supposed to try and remember all this so that way we don't buy the same books and go around in circles. That's what this stream's going to be good for. I'm going to be able to try and at least keep track of exactly what I've read and what I haven't. Yeah. So, having some idea what I've read is good. So, at least this is a bunch more books. I think there was like at least like 5, 6 books. Probably more. And with all that in mind, I'm worn out. I can only read for so much time before I really get worn out. And I'm at my wit's end. So, with all that in mind, thank you very much all for watching. And I guess you'll continue reading or torture myself otherwise another time. See you then.